So, hello together. We will see first how many participants we have today. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, our friends from all the world. Today will be a very nice day. I'm very glad and happy that we are together with the other commissions, today with the medical commissions, and it's for all referees and especially for the wrestler, very important that the referees and the medical commission work close together. And I think wrestling is going up and up also in this part of kind, because we are looking more on the health of the wrestler. We are looking more uh, for better conditions for our important and sportsmen and women wrestler, female wrestler, for everybody. So it will be very nice today to have this webinar together. So for me, it's a pleasure to work with, I can say, the two colleagues, because we are working a lot of years together, and we see, and thank you, the president of the medical commission, Dr. Babak Shaktan, with a big experience. Thank you very much for your great successful. Also to present wrestling in the IOC, in the medical commission. It's a great honor for us. You did a very, very great job. And also my friend, Dr. Molna from Hungary. He's a really sportsman. He's close to the wrestler. He's close to the referees. Every time he's in the match when it's competition. And we need also from this kind of part, thank you for a big job for the last years. And I'm happy to work with you in future again together. So, Dr. Babak, I will give you the floor that you can start to also give your introducement and start the meeting.
So can you see the screen now, right?
Yes.
All right. So wonderful. Yes, hello to everyone. Thank you very much for attending this webinar, this interactive webinar. It's a pleasure working with Antonio and Sabi, my colleagues. And what we are going to present is a kind of collaborative work that we have developed together during the recent, especially 2 years. The same kind of presentation, well, more advanced presentation that we gave in our medical conference back in 2019 in Budapest. So, okay. So what we are going to talk today is about the role of referees in preventing of injuries in wrestling. So injury is a barrier for sport participation and development all over the world. Besides the duty of us, every one of us, to improve the healthcare and the health condition of our athletes and our athletic support personnel, we have to think of the extension and development of our sport. Any dangerous or injurious sport doesn't have a good chance and opportunity for development across the globe. So it's really important. Being able to understand the injury and to prevent the injury, the first place is to understand the nature, the mechanism, the specifications of the injury, how it happens, what are the main risk factors, patterns of injury, and what make a wrestler vulnerable to injury. Understanding all those led us to modify many things, led us to have better education and better management in order to prevent from injury, because when injury happens, it's very difficult to treat, mostly, especially in musculoskeletal medicine. It takes time, it takes money, it costs. It can finish the athletic competitive period of an athlete. So, but prevention can, easily and simply really prevent all these disasters. So firstly, we have to know that although being a contact sport, wrestling, we don't actually give score in wrestling by hitting the opponent. So, despite being a contact sport, in wrestling, we are different from other contact sports. Hitting in wrestling is equal to negative score. Therefore, we shouldn't actually see that much of trauma happening in wrestling. And this is something that we have to work on it. If we get back to, let's say 2004 Athens Olympic Games, the time that we started the medical commission to monitor injuries during the Olympic Games directly, as you can see in 2004, the rate of injuries during the competitions, during the Olympic competition was 24.2%. And after that, by understanding the nature of injuries, modifying the rules, regulations, better education, fight against doping, improving the medical care, medical regulations, we could reduce the rate of injuries to 9.3% in Beijing, 12% in London Olympic Games, and finally 6.2% in Rio. So as you can see, we have been very successful together to reduce the rate and severity of injuries in our sport over the time. And it should be mentioned that wrestling, based on not our statistics, based on IOC Medical Commission statistics, the rate of injury during the Rio Olympic Games was lower than all these sports that I have listed here, the Summer Olympic sports, less than cycling, boxing, taekwondo, water polo, rugby, football, handball, gymnastics, weightlifting, hockey, judo, athletics, diving, even badminton. So as you can see, if you compare, we can simply say that wrestling is not essentially a dangerous sport. And we have to work on it. We have to show it. We have to prove it. So we have to and we should prevent injuries, and we can prevent injuries. That's a good point. That's a good message. We can highly prevent injuries. And one of the main, way to prevent injuries are good referees. Good refereeing, basically, has the most crucial role on injury prevention. I mean, during a competition, we know that we have a referee team, we have the medical team. I can divide like this. I mean, referees are the most important people to prevent the injury. When injury happens and develops, then medical team are the main person to take care of the situation. So you see a referee role is really important. And as we go through by showing some clips, some examples, I'll let you know why we are saying this. So, as I said again, preventative measures should be done by both medical staff and the referee teams. And this is why we have started a very good communications over the last years. I can say, especially after 2015, together with referee and medical commissions, our colleagues started working together. We improved the communications between referees and doctors. As you know, we have now sign language that help us to speed up everything during the competitions. And we started to, preparing some educational activities. We have some presentations before starting each competition together with the head of referee delegation always. And during the course of competitions, we have very close work and correlations and collaboration, basically. So if you look at the responsibilities of referee team in your regulations, you see that this is the list. Govern the match, encourage active and attractive wrestling, discipline on and around the mat, eliminate negative wrestling, clean and fair play, and safe sport. And this is so important. This is one of the cornerstones and responsibility of each referee. And this is the place that we are going to focus today in this webinar. So, eliminating negative wrestling, stopping dangerous actions is very important. Stopping dangerous actions. Not when dangerous action happens, we stop the match. Stopping dangerous actions. Controlling the match and athletic interactions and behaviors, basically managing the mat. Collaboration, a good collaboration with match doctor. Facilitate the medical care on the mat, collaboration on the mat, and officiate match doctor's decision. There are important roles of referee to keep a safe sport happening during the competition. So the first three help us to prevent the injuries, and the rest basically helps to manage the injuries when it happens. So to prevent the injury, we have to, again, understand the mechanism of injuries, why an injury happens during the wrestling. And each sport has its own, patterns, its own mechanisms, risk factors. We want to see what are the main mechanisms of wrestling injuries, acute injuries that we see during the competitions. So the list is simple: rapid dangerous action, sudden joint rotation, repetitive trauma, developing dangerous action, and gradual joint rotation. So the first one basically is sudden trauma, the hit, basically. Let's have an example. So as you can, sometimes the injury, the hit is so fast that nobody can prevent it. Rapid dangerous action. So as you saw, that was a dangerous action. That was basically a foul, but it happened so fast. The referee couldn't do anything, just stopping and managing then the injury. Sudden joint rotation, sometimes it happens so fast, nobody can actually prevent it. Nobody can foresee it to prevent it. Look at the management of the referee. So when an injury like this happens, so acute, so fast, obviously a referee cannot do something, but when it happens, now this is the duty of the referee to manage the match and let the medical team, do their work and collaborate with them to manage the situation. So the first three example was when something is happening so fast and nobody can, help to prevent it. But look at the other mechanisms. They are not that fast. Look at this. so repetitive. Here is the place that the referee can basically prevent. After the first, a hit, he or she should stop the match. Sometimes developing a dangerous action is gradual, and referee and other people can see it. This is important that a referee intervene. It's too late now.
Yes.
It took about 20 seconds. The referee should stop it as soon as possible. We shouldn't risk. The joint, sometimes it's gradual. Look at the leg, basically the knee joint, the stress on knee joint, which is very dangerous. I mean, a little bit force can rupture ACL, PCL, medial collateral ligaments, the whole knee structure. So why so much delay?
And you see also the judge indicate in this moment. And here is very important. Maybe the referee on the mat missed, but all the match chairman can also, we have a sponge, send a sponge on the mat. And as you said, doctor, thank you very much, that here is very important that the referee have to stop directly the bout and the match to make this preventive. And he have to be consequently working. So maybe you are not sure, you can say what you can say. You can say one time, attention, okay? You can go inside attention. And when it's not change the situation, then better stop the situation.
Exactly, wonderful. So as you saw, sudden trauma, rapid dangerous action, sudden joint rotation, they are the main mechanisms that we see: falling down, repeated trauma, developing dangerous action, and gradual joint rotation. And this is the main area that you can prevent. This part can be prevented by referees. So when we are talking about the responsibilities of the referee, eliminating negative wrestling is so important. I'll ask Antonio to continue presentation from now. Antonio, can you talk about this?
Okay, I can. So I will take the same presentation. I can continue, or I will make host. No problem. So it's okay. Now it's important maybe that the referee team and the responsibility, it's very important to eliminate negative wrestling. And that was the doctor also said that. And I'm also working in a company, in a government insurance company, and we have also sports. And that is the rule of the referee is very important. When we allowed, and we saw also in other sports, in football, and when we allowed that everybody is, we allowed to brutalities, we allowed hitting, biting, punching, boxing, and a lot of things, then the wrestler will continue, and this is very dangerous for our sport. So it's better directly, and when we are in competition, that we directly from the first bout, we directly have to be very, very strictly, and you will see, everybody will understand that this is not this part of our sport, and they will stop this situation. So that I'm absolutely agree, doctor, when you can continue the next slide, that we have to be really, really also attention for stopping dangerous actions and fouls. And so very important, the strangulation. So when this is a difficult situation, the strangulation. So, but you see also here the referee, you must go in position. You must call maybe 1, 2, 3 seconds. Action, action. And if it's not coming action, better we stop the bout. And also we must go into training to understand what is foul and what is not foul. So that is very important. These mechanics. So as you said, doctor, after when is some problem, the medical will work, but to understand also the mechanics for correct holds, that is an absolutely important rule of the referees. So grabbing fingers, shoulder over rotation, or twisting one leg, all this kicking, a lot of this kind, we know that, and we have to stop it directly when we saw, and then better stop it. Every time, look here, when you see here the arm on this side going, it's very dangerous for the shoulders. And then you say, attention, maybe he can pay attention when he not change the situation, also when he's in danger position. It's better to stop the bout than not. We have one wrestler, his shoulders is out, big operation, and you know, with a big injury, maybe you have to finish your career, and that we not want this kind of situation. Here also look, the singlet is inside, yes. So here directly stop because it's very important. Or, you know, strangulation, yes. Attention, you see this kind, here the referee must go inside, and because when you have the strangulation, I have one time a strangulation, because it was very difficult to see and to understand. And when you know this one time, you are shocked first, yeah, and that it's very, very, very important to check that. Yeah. Also, this is a lot in freestyle. Yeah. Sometimes for us as a referee, it's difficult to see here when this is a foul, big foul. Yes. So blue have never chance. He have to lose the point, but this is a foul. And look, his knee. Doctor can also better explain as I. But you see, this is against the joint, and we must stop it one time. The knee and also the foot in this kind. It's written in the rule book. Stop the bout and no points, and up for standing position.
Yeah, as you said, one leg rotation is really dangerous, especially if the opponent doesn't be ready to contract the muscles around the knee. It can simply rotate and, you know, rupture all elements of the knee capsule and knee joint, which is a disaster. I mean, nobody after a knee injury, a severe knee injury, can get back to the competitive level again.
I am agree.
No sport.
Also, the mount, it's not also not touch to the face, to the eyes, or in this case, yes, it's not allowed here. You must go inside, not touch the wrestler. It's correctly in danger position, absolutely. But you can speak, and you speak with a correctly voice, with correctly signs. Why the signs is important? So maybe the doctor is also watching the match, so he can also understand. Oh no, it's important. Maybe can be, or the coaches. Everybody have to understand what's happened on the mat. Absolutely, yeah. Controlling the match, important, and that it's very important. Start of the bout, sometimes we have aggressive wrestler, or when one wrestler is losing, yeah, and directly that when you have two wrestlers, maybe two big champions, or one is better than the other, but be careful that we have no aggressive behaviors on the bout, and directly as the referee did, stop the bout and give him a warning. Sometimes it's when it's a big injury, you can give him directly also a caution. It's not only give him a warning, but stop it, because maybe you have a big injury, maybe then you cannot say you are a winner of the bout. So we have to also check which kind of aggressive behaviors we have. Oh, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, again, when something happens, then the collaboration with match doctor is really important and critical. Sabi, are you around?
Yes, I'm around.
Okay.
I'd like to greet everyone as well. Antonio, please switch on my camera again, because the switch off when the lecture began. And if you let me speak some forwards before the slides.
Yes, please.
Everyone, I hope that everyone is hearing me. My name is Szabolcs Molnár. I'm the member of the Medical Commission, and it is a great honor to join you. I would like to emphasize some details that Antonio or Babak mentioned earlier, that we have to work together. The referee is in the first line, and the referee is able to prevent injury. The medical team can only treat. This is the biggest difference in our behavior. There are some
So
details.
Sabi, we don't see, sorry, Sabi, we don't see you. Can you turn on your video?
Now
So,
your
sorry,
camera.
okay. Thank
Now
you
you are
again.
ready. Bravo.
So it's a great honor to join to you. Good afternoon, good evening, as Antonio said, and good morning, everyone. My name is Szabolcs Mona. I'm an orthopedic surgeon, member of the Medical Commission, and I would like to repeat and emphasize some things that Babak or Antonio has already mentioned. That the referees and the medical team have to work together closely, very closely, because the referee is in the first line and you are able to prevent injuries. We are only able to treat injuries, not to prevent. You are able, not every injury, but right, we can try. I would like, and we have to defend the wrestlers, but not to decide matches. And we have to talk about some details after the lecture as well, because I noted some things here that maybe later on we can roll this topic, that the winner is not the one who is not injured in case of a purpose injury. I hope that you agree with me. That I can decide who is the injured person and who is not able to continue, but it doesn't mean that the other is the winner if the other did something on purpose. So sometimes we have to decide together who is the winner, and this was the reason why I asked and we practiced that we review together the dangerous actions and we decide together what to do if the injured is already safe and treated. So there are some excellent slides from Baba, and I hope that the medical care is in a proper way in OVA competitions. We have got several topics. Here are the sign languages, but it's not only, as I mentioned, it's not only the medical team, but the most important thing is working together for preventing, for the audience, for broadcast, and for the health of wrestlers. Yes, there are the sign language, and we have to take care. Yes, I will read these sentences. The action, alter behavior of wrestler against regulations and fair play. Yes, we have to decide who is defensive, who is offensive. We have to decide whether disqualify or not in a dangerous situation, because what you saw in a sudden action, who made the injury on purpose, she must disqualify. She must be disqualified. Even the injured, is not able to continue the match. And yes, I hope that there will be some videos. I hope that Babak is going to manage the slides.
Well, maybe I will ask Antonio to intervene and talk about different kinds of folds with some examples that we'll have.
Yes, I think you start, you show them, and after I can give also some, but you can show everything. Bravo.
All right. So brutality, I mean, hitting, beating, punching, boxing, slapping, you know, these are not wrestling. I mean, we don't want to see this action happens during the wrestling. We want to show a very nice picture from a sport full of techniques, beauty, you know, fights, but not this kind of actions.
Absolutely. You see, directly with the elbow, directly to the face. Huh? As we said, look the score, 8-1. Huh? So in this kind, we have to save the wrestler, yes? And this is not maybe by fighting. That was intentional, and that we have to separate, yes? You see also when the wrestler head and fighting, and referee make a good situation, directly stop both, yes. Important is here, and he signs both out, and we have this in Baku. during the first European Games, because we have the responsibility also for young guys and young wrestlers. They are looking also the internet, and we cannot have this kind in semifinal or in this kind of matches. Both are champions, but they have to understand we have no boxing on the wrestling mat.
That was wonderful referee. I mean, that was one of the best decisions I've seen made on the mat. Wonderful.
So also, as you said, it's not allowed. So that is a good position. Look, red is hooking and blue directly with two hands to the face. Maybe no injury in this moment, but this is a foul. But maybe they can have other, but in this moment, you see, directly stop the bout. And when it's in a hold, the sanction, as we have the last webinars also, this is a defensive foul, and defensive foul have to be directly penalized with a caution, and here 2 points in Greco-Roman. You see, with the leg in Greco-Roman. So, okay, he was able to execute his hold, but Doc, you know, when maybe with a leg foul, they go down, they can have also injury. So that it's
exactly
critical.
Because it's not expected. That's the
Mm-hmm.
important thing. When the opponent is not ready for this kind of, leg maneuvers, it's very simple and it's very easy to get injured.
Yeah. Now we saw also the referee. Look, he was in the zone and now he's coming inside and he directly stopped the bout. Okay, you see, I think this is very critical. The knee go down outside, for all ligaments, and it's good not say attention, directly stop the bout. This is important. I think
So,
we are
Sabi,
too late, doctor. When we are too late, that can be maybe a trauma.
Exactly. This is what I want to ask Sabi to talk a bit. What is the consequence of, a leg sprain, a knee sprain?
Yes, what I have to repeat again, that these were excellent and wonderful decisions. I absolutely agree. No one could have done better. We are just watching it, and we can talk about from photos and share how to do it. But the hardest thing is to manage it in the mat, and the referees are doing it. But we have to talk a little bit about the improvement. If we considering the knee, we saw an accident between an injury, intentional injury between an Italian girl and a Canadian girl. It took 1 year for the Italian girl to recover. And I'm not able that she could be able to reach the same level as earlier. In some sports, the person who is intentionally making an injury is disqualified and suspended for the same period as the injured one, for having the same consequences. Because having operated a cruciate ligament takes 6 months theoretically to retain training, but the wrestler needs more time to retain her activity or his activity for the same level. So sometimes 1 calendar year to recover.
Thank you, Sabi. So, other faults and unsporting behaviors, examples?
And you see, the referee was in a good position. And look, my friend from Canada, Zinger, he is also looking caution, but look now, he's standing up and he explained directly, look here, out, directly big foul and can be, and also referee was in a very good position, you see, closed. So important is when it's a dangerous situation, not be far from the wrestler, be close that you can directly interfere in the field more. And you see also, when you see the bout 13 to 14, every point, every decision can be important. And that also this experience, when you have a tough match, that can be also a tough match in some illegal fouls.
So ankle ligament injury can take 6 months as well to recover. 3 months to retain, to go back to the training, and 3 months to have the same activity level. It is about his life and the wrestler life and economy and wrestling achievements as well. It's not unpermittable to have these actions. I absolutely agree. And what is coming in this slide as well.
Mm-hmm. So this is a very important situation. We saw that in a lot of cadets and children and schoolboys. So maybe you can show again, look, this is not allowed. He blocked the knee from the opponent, and for the rest to say, maybe it's an action. But when this is important, the explanation of the doctors now, yes? This kind, our coaches, please, and wrestlers, not training and not do it in competition. Because we saw it, especially in cadets and schoolboys, and when I spoke with some wrestler and coach, but it's an action. But you must understand the mechanics now from the doctor. And this is important for us when it's very, very difficult or it's strange, then we must also understand from medical commission, and we have to also understand and analyze this kind, have to be directly eliminate this kind of techniques in competitions. Maybe you can also explain why this is a problem for the wrestler, for the head.
Sorry, because the rotation of the knee and the crushing ligament can be ruptured with the medial ligament as well, and some meniscal injury as well. So this rotation without having the contact of the injured wrestler to the mat or to the other, so rotating only the knee can cause a severe lesion of the right knee, unpermittable.
Exactly. And as Antonio said, this kind of technique is not something that, wrestler, especially a young wrestler, just, creates during the competition.
Yes.
It backs to the training. It backs to what the coaches basically taught to the wrestler. And this is why it's really important to have a good education, not just for referees or, medical staff, even for the coaches. We have to talk directly to the coaches, showing them even the consequences of some bad behaviors and fouls and what happens to the opponent. So education also for the coaches is really important.
Yes. So also this kind of actions with two hands to the head. Yes, this is not allowed. Yeah, referee directly stopped, and you see directly with a strong face. He indicate attention, this is a foul, and cannot, this is also not allowed, because also for actions you have to take every time the arm with you, not with two hands to the head. Maybe
go to the earlier one, because it was
earlier one is good. Earlier one is good. So
it's against for the spine.
The spine, huh? The earlier one is
horrible.
Good for the shoulders. Maybe you can check. Mm-hmm.
The previous one, Baba.
Previous, yes, is possible.
Yes, this one.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, Doc, one more. This one, yes.
This one.
Doc, explain directly what's happened here.
Yes, the right arm, the shoulder, and the insert, and then look at it. It's an unnatural position for the shoulder.
Exactly.
It can cause 1 year missing from the wrestling.
And that, as you saw, doctor, that is training also in the training center. Yes, we saw them couple times. Sometimes last time was also in the European Championships. Yes, so directly referee when you saw, stop it directly. Okay, and then
yes, it is difficult, as Babak mentioned, because it's a sudden action from the opponent. It's very difficult to prevent, but we have to sanction these wrestlers.
I agree. And that is very, very for the spine. Attention, look here, huh? And look here. That broken everything, yes. okay, referee, stop it now. But so when you see it for maybe first time, it's as you said, sometimes it's very quickly, huh? But in this moment, it's very, very, it's against the joint and spine. It's a brutality. This is a brutality. This is not a foul. This is a brutality. And here we have to disqualify this kind of wrestling.
I mean, here we are not talking about the joint. We are talking about spine, spinal
Yes.
cord.
Yeah.
And if something happens to spinal cord, it can easily paralyze the person for the whole life. I mean, this is a disaster. It's really important, especially to take care of the neck and you know, spine and spinal cord.
So look here. Also, as we saw, look here. He turned out. Look in slow motion. Go, and now very, very hard. Look, against. You see? Sorry, but this, and now you can, with this action, maybe Blue cannot continue his match, and then we cannot declare Red as winner, because this is also a kind of brutality. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Sabi, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry, I missed the conversation from the spine when it was,
Okay.
and I absolutely agree that it can threaten or risk the life quality, the further life quality of the person. It's not only an intentional action in the mat and making an injury for living 1 year. It is I think it can be a juridical action as well, because it's an intentional and it can cause severe impairment.
Exactly.
yeah. Maybe normal action is okay. Maybe it's no problem. But now look, Red is turning other side is for defense. Okay. Now she's putting also her arms out. Okay. And now it's not coming to a normal. Okay. Look now. No. Okay. And the referee did very good. And
it was an excellent decision.
Yes.
Excellent.
So you see, it was correct actions, no problem. But the defense wrestler started to move and so, and then better stopped the bout and made it clear.
Okay, and we can decide it later on after reviewing the video. What was the score? Who was the intention? Who did it intentionally? But we have to prevent injury.
Yes.
So the action of the referee was excellent. And just keep in mind that this is Buenos Aires 2018.
Yes.
Later on, I'll get back to this.
Yes. So now it's very important. Maybe we have a lot of wrestling fans. They will see, oh, this is a nice action. Look here. He's make maybe 5 points or something. But we have to check. He's jumping on the opponent. Yes. And that is very critical. So maybe when one wrestler is walking, you must say to him, action. Do something, but he can make his action. But when you see again, he's really jumping on the stomach, and that I can imagine can be also very critical. Huh?
Yes, it can be a fracture of thorax and ribs.
Look, he's jumping.
Absolutely agree. It's not a theater. It's not a gladiator bout. It's a wrestling match, and we have to differentiate between these things.
Bravo. I am agree. Absolutely this. Yes.
So as with those examples, you saw that how important is the referee roles to prevent the injury, basically to eliminate negative wrestling, to control and stop dangerous action from happening. And when it happens, to control the match and basically discipline the match and mat. And you have mechanisms to stop, these actions. Please use it. Referees have the most critical role on injury prevention. That's a fact. Your role to prevent injuries are more important than the medical staff, medical doctors who are around during the competitions. So a referee to be able to prevent injuries should be should understand the safety of the wrestler. This kind of behavior are not acceptable. We don't want this kind of concerns or behaviors. I mean, this is not the standard way of transferring an injured athlete. And as you can see here, the referee is intervening to stop it. That's the right decision. You know, this kind of behavior should be stopped right away. The referee should be knowledgeable, skilled, understand the rules and you know, regulations very well. Should be really qualified to be able to manage the situation. Should be in a good position, be concentrated, and be able to see exactly what's happening from different angles. Be proactive is really important. Being proactive, be able to foresee what's happening, and then stop the dangerous action. That's a key. That's the best skill that we want to see from a referee. It should be quick. I mean, delay sometimes make a grade, you know, grade 1 injury, a simple injury, to grade 3, a complete rupture of a ligament.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Antonio, please.
For me, normally directly stop in the first situation. Huh? So referee was close. So better the first situation, stopped about, okay, in second time he was very bad. The second is very dangerous. So it's better in this moment when you come something against and not say attention, we must stop the bout because it's against our rules and then it's nothing. It's better. We stopped the bout when we are going into training as children. Remember what our coach said to us, okay? Safety is very important. This, be fair, be clean, and you win or lose the match. But important is that when we go out, we are healthy for our wrestler and everybody.
Exactly. These are some examples on non-proactive and the difference by being proactive.
Yes.
I think I can.
You can explain this video.
Yeah.
That was in the World Championship 2015. And you see that the wrestler is calling, the wrestler is taking. So this is, we have to understand first, every time, and I know that the referee are looking every time on the touche. And this is as that Sabi also talk. Not check the touche. We can check after everything, understand? Check first the situation. So you see, you in this, you must follow the with your eyes the wrestling. And then when something happened, directly stop, separate the wrestler. And it's not good that the, okay, in this moment, the wrestler say something. No, the referee must now indicate directly for the calling the doctor, okay, to come directly to the mat. So he have to be more active, yes, and that is from my side, and I think we are also our opinion when we analyze that together, that here the referee must stop directly. Not, it's not the job of the wrestler to start to take his arm or something about that. So very, very, very important situation when we was in the Olympic Games, yes. First, everybody said, what's happened? So, but we have to understand that, and you have to see also how I can look the reaction and the strangulation. Look, red is down and is talking. And then you have to look also the legs of the opponent. Yeah? The legs, before they come in this situation, he lose his legs, and look, you must also understand the arms. Yes, he's down the arms, legs out, yes, and also his face was blue. He lose the brave, he lose a lot of things, yes. So, and you see the referee also, he started, but in this moment, it's not important. He must first call the doctor, but stop the bout. He stopped directly the bout. Huh?
Yes. I mean,
And I would like to emphasize, sorry.
So I want to say this referee is one of the best referees that we have, but here he was very emotional. I think instead of just calling the medical team who were ready, I mean, to come onto the mat and respected the referee to just wait for his permission, the referee tried to do some first aid and medical care. I mean, here we have been very fortunate that nothing serious happened. But if something really critical happens, there would be a liability for the referee. It can be a liability for the referee if, you know, we lose something because of the delay in medical care. Sorry, Sabi, you can continue.
Yes, despite of telling these things, because I absolutely agree that he would have had to whistle earlier, not to leave strangulation, because the Croatian hold it more than I don't know how many seconds, and he would have had to introduce the medical team earlier. But go back to that moment when he stopped the boat and he hit a little bit the face of the wrestler. I used to do it, and I absolutely agree with this. To make a little pain, just to realize if he is alert or not alert, because it is a key issue if he's able to continue or not. Yes, a strangulation. He would have had to whistle. He stopped, but then, yes, there was a hit. Maybe it is not. Cannot see, but he a little bit shake the face. And he began, the Wassel began to respirate after it.
And that is also when sometimes in critical situation, as you said, doctor, we sometimes we have also excellent referees, or we have excellent, not sometimes, we have excellent, but sometimes they are also coaches, understand? So, and then we are starting to mix the rule, huh? So because we know, I was also a wrestler or coach, and then we know, it's we do that. No, it's not our job, huh? We have to be referee, and stop the situation, and then you see, there was waiting on the corner. In this moment, in this time, we said, referee must call the doctor. So, and then that was also excellent. You saw the coach was running inside, and now we changed the rules. And that was a very good decision, doctor, that we did. That we said, when something happened, directly call the doctor as first, yes? And then the doctor came and you explained, it's because you remember before, there was 3-4 times coaches, maybe the National Federation doctor or something about that, maybe physiotherapist, and now the rule is also better for our referees. Only focus to the doctor, and the UE doctor, he will decide he need assistance or not.
This is the importance of the sign language and to know where is the
Yes.
seat of the doctor. All the referees must know this.
Yes, absolutely. So, and now we're coming also to the Buenos Aires, as you said, doctor. So, and then we saw that also referees directly stopped, danger position. She saw she was in good position. Here is also critical. And in this moment we discussed, oh, no, it is good. And she indicate attention, yeah, not push against. Huh?
It was an excellent decision.
Yes. You look the leg inside. Now I directly referee stopped about, very quiet, and nobody complained. Directly good position, and that helped also when we make the statistics. Also for IOC, resting in Buenos Aires was wonderful with minimal injuries. Doctor will speak about that also. Here also. And that we have to teach that our referees, not only techniques or not only points, have to look. You see,
Wonderful.
wonderful. You see, he was injured, and when you see, one moment can be wonderful referee, and you see it's important, as you said, shake hands. Red understood, and this is that one I have also something. When the wrestler make this, oh, he said they some, but he shaked and he understood the referee's decision was clear and good.
So why so much beautiful referee we saw during the Buenos Aires? That's because we actually did a kind of project. During 2018 Junior World Championship in Slovakia, we came with a high rate of injuries. I mean, 22% in Junior World Championship. That was not acceptable. So, and it's not just the rate. I mean, we have 7 severe injuries, 61 mild to moderate injuries. I mean, that wasn't acceptable. So after that games, when we went to the Buenos Aires championships, together with the referee commission and the medical commission, we decided to better educate the referees and ask them to be very restrict, to do not take any risk, to be very proactive. So we spend a lot of time to talk to referees before the competition starts. We basically made a kind of course to educate the referees, and especially Antonio asked them to do not take any risk and be very proactive. It doesn't matter if you even by mistake, stop a nice technique, take care of the wrestler's health and put it as the first priority. And this is why we then later saw lots of beautiful decisions. And at the end of the championships, the rate of injury during the 2018 Youth Olympic Games was about 2%. So you can see 22% turned to 2%. And the interesting thing is that they happened kind of just in 1 month difference. The same group of athletes kind of came to the same competition, the same referees and medical team came to the Youth Olympic Games. So everything was kind of similar. The only difference was a very restrict and proactive referee action. And this is the result of a very good referee proactive decision, turning 22% of injuries to 2% of injury. This is the glory and what we think is really important. Good and cautious referees have the most crucial role to prevent injuries. And
but
it
this is
happens
also,
when, yes,
this is also, I must say this, yes, this is also your big job, what you did. And for them, I will say congratulations, because you understood very well, we are one family, we are together, and you explained us so much. And I remember when we was in the Olympic seminars, yes, you came, or your colleagues, yes, that was the birth of communication together, yes. And we understood, and excellent, you understood, to motivate more the referees to understand what you are doing is good for wrestling. And thank you, Doc. I know you like so much the referees, but I must also sometimes say it's also your big job. Congratulations for your support and for your big things for United World Wrestling.
Thank you very much. This is the job that my colleagues in the medical commission they have done, and all of them are trying to establish a good collaboration with the referees. And as you said, we are just one family, and together we can, have a beautiful, safe sport, which is very important for development of our sport. So I leave it to Antonio. We have some quiz.
So maybe now we can check when you show the video, and I can make. So we have 3 quizzes together, okay? Now, the first question is, how long is the injury time for bleeding? So now you can maybe start the video, and then I will poll the situation, and then you must decide how long. And it was match in Rio. That was a hard job for you, I remember. Yes,
Well,
that
it
was
was disaster.
long. That was, yes. And then they became, before the competition, before the job, and all your colleagues and you also especially did a good job in the final. So, and this is now, you see, is the all the video to see more and more and more than I think 8 minutes. How long? 20 minutes did this
25 minutes. I mean,
20,
that,
20, so that
that was
was,
not good, Antonio, because that was the final in
yes,
Olympic Games.
yes,
Live broadcasted,
yeah,
worldwide, millions of peoples, were watching this final, very beautiful final, very good,
yes, good,
wrestlers.
yes, good
And
match.
we
So
showed a bloody final, a
yes,
bloody long final, which wasn't good for our sport.
yes. So the question now, I hope everybody, I will start to allow to you can see now the wait. So I will wait. Everybody can vote, yes? So I will look, I will wait the voting. So how many time we have for the bleeding, no limit, or only 2 minutes, 4 minutes, or we will repeat 20 minutes, yes? So, and we have 70% of our colleagues are voting. I will keep some couple of seconds. So come on, last 5 seconds, you can vote. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we will see the results. And I will share the results with you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wonderful, doctor. Huh? Good.
Correct.
87% said 4 minutes. It's the time. And it's important that here, this is also important, that when it's bleeding, the referee must indicate, and also the doctor must also say to indicate to the timekeeper, here is bleeding time. And then, and this also our technical department is a compliment. Now everybody can see how long is the bleeding time on the scoreboard. Everybody understand, and we keep this kind of situation. Good. So
So I want to stress here that these 4 minutes that came into our regulations after Rio Olympic Games, and especially after this match. I mean, this match was the reason of changing the rule. And this is a very, I think, important and wise decision. I mean, it shows that we are not blind when we can find the mechanism of injury or a mechanism of not good wrestling. We can modify rules and regulations to prevent repetition of the same incidents. The important point here is that this 4 minutes time limit is just for bleeding, is not for
yes,
injury management. So if we have a non-bleeding injury, we don't have a time limitation to control it and to manage it. It really depends on the UWW doctor of the game to decide what to do. But for the injury prevention, now we have a clock that starts, we have a timer that count and automatically stop the match after 4 minutes ended.
bravo. Next quiz. So now be a referee and what is the decision of referee team? What is your opinion of this situation? So I will start. It was so now you can start to vote. You saw what is the decision of referee team. When you are referee, you will give a verbal warning for offensive foul. You give a caution and say, okay, that was a little foul. Or it's your opinion that you say, this is a disqualification, it's a big brutality. We cannot allow this on the mat. And it's so that we have to understand everybody. This is a normal action or is a very dangerous situation. I will wait after voting, doctor, because it's 74% voted. So when we look again after the situation, we look again, because I will show also one important things, what also the opponent did. So, but I think you are ready, the last seconds. So doc, now I will see what is the, I will stop now the polling. We have 80%, that's a good number, good. And now we will share the results with you. So, wonderful, very good decision. This is a big disqualification, a big brutality of this situation. Absolutely. Doctor, we are agree, huh?
Wonderful, wonderful, yes.
Yeah.
It shows that we have very educated and smart referees.
Yes. So can you one time again the video, and when I say stop, then you can stop. So now it's okay. We wait. Okay, stop. So stop here. So this is also very important now. Okay. Also, the opponent did a foul. Okay, because in wrestling it's not allowed to cross in this kind the legs to the opponent. Also the blue wrestler. Yes. Also here is important that the referee have to be active. Yeah. Maybe when you stop the first foul, maybe cannot be happen the second foul. Okay. So that it's also important. So we come to the last quiz. Number 3, Doc. So now it's important, and now this is that what we want: cooperation, doctor, medical, and referee. So when you look, this is from Kazakhstan in the World Championships in a very tough match, and we must check about the red wrestler. And now we want from you to understand: is this simulation? Is this an injury? Who is the job to decide? And what is the decision? We cut it from some situation. One time is the nose. This is an entire match, and we have a couple of situations. First he's complaining. After is something on the shoes. .123 to go. Budos is still attacking. Tough match. He's also attention for this strangulation when he keep. Now is the knee. It's important we see a trauma or not a trauma. The referee is wanting to call him, step up, stand up, stand up. Is this our job or not? My chairman did a great job. Say, hey, call the doctor. Why you are waiting? And doctor directly came. And after seconds, the doctor, and now this is important of the communication, the referee spoke slowly and he went back to the match chairman. And now I will ask you the questions. So also that will be very important for the doctor, for everybody. And then we will look, what is your opinion? First, it is an injury, no penalty. That means doctor decide. Second one, it is a red simulation because he's tired, first time warning, and then you give red caution. Or red should be disqualified. What is your opinion? And after we can discuss who must decide this situation and how is the rule of the doctor and how is the rule of the referee. Now it's becoming a little difficult, and that's also what we need, because our doctors, we have sometimes 3 formats in big competitions, sometimes formats, and they cannot stay every match, follow every match, every situation. For that, it's very important the communication of referee to the doctor, that the doctor understand what's happened and what is the decision. So we have a big number of statistics. Bravo. The last 5 seconds. Okay. 4, 3, 2. Bravo. Good. I'm very happy. Good voting for our fans and our. Now we will share the results and you will see. So now you decide, because you see everything. It's an injury, no penalty. For that, you mean that it's only, you said, okay, it's a simulation from wrestler because he's tired. He become warning and he become after the decision. It's a question, it's caution 1 point. So now we have a difference in the speech, because should be disqualified. It's no, it's match, he's tired, maybe something about, but this is the different now by doctor and referees. And this is the important communication. Yes, when I look as referee, maybe the match, I say, hey, he have maybe nothing, but the doctor are looking with other eyes. Okay, maybe he have maybe before a little injury. Is there something? Okay, so that is very important. And which information became the doctor from the referee in this moment? Okay, so we have to also be very smart. When it's something, we have to tell to the please be careful, check. In my opinion, it's nothing, and maybe doctor can check that. Okay, but when doctor not became this information, it's very difficult to say you have nothing. Understand? Because we give a penalty. So when we make this kind of decisions, we must collaborate very good and very quiet and explain him the situation, and then doctor can rethink, and then we can have together the decision. So doctor, from referee side, when we saw all this, but we not know what was happened in this match. So we mean one, but you can see it's maybe a leg, it's an injury or not, okay?
Right. As you said, Antonio, it's really important to have a good communications. And sometimes something that happens on the eye of a medical doctor, the team doctor, the UWW doctor, might be different from what the referee thinks, but based on the rules and regulations, when something like this happens, this is the UWW doctor to decide if that was a simulation or not, if the injured athlete can continue or should stop because of a malinjury. So this is the part that we have to work together. And finally, this is the UWW doctor to decide about the injury, about the destiny of
Yes.
the athlete when there is an injury situation.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So Doc, now we can come to some next one. Maybe we have some questions, something. So we saw I saw it. There was one question. So as coach, when I see things they are going against the joint aggressively, maybe because I have a better view of the situation. How how I can start? How I, especially in college and times, we have only one referee. So how I can indicate for the referee, hey, he's a foul or not, okay? So important is first not run on the mat. This is important, yeah? But please use maybe in this kind, when it's a big, you have this challenge sponge, okay? You can ask for challenge, okay, in this moment, or you can say, hey, attention, because in this moment we need everybody, okay? But be quiet and not aggressive to the referees, because for him it's also a stressful situation, okay? That is for our situation, but my opinion, maybe you can stand up, because when it's a big injury, better you show, hey, attention, okay? So what is your, doctor, what you mean for this situation?
Well, as you said, I mean, the first of all, we have to, in the first place, we have to think of the health of the athlete. This is the first priority. we shouldn't take any risk. If there is
Yes.
any question in mind, we have to think about the healthcare
Yeah.
of the athlete. That's the main point. Having a good collaboration with the team doctor, the UWW doctor, and the medical team is the key of a successful refereeing while preventing the injury. Sabi, are you around?
No, he left. He ran because he
He
left.
left?
Yes, he left. He left. So, but no, also I saw not more question, but I have also one very important thing what I want to tell. So when we go into the weigh-in, so we are starting to become every time complaints. Why I need to pay a license? Why we have this? Why? So for us it's important because when we see this kind of injuries, it's also important as United with Wrestling that we are safe for everybody, for hospital costs, for transportation, for everything. So, and this is also my job when I'm working in government for injury and accident. And you see the difference when somebody have no insurance and somebody have the insurance. And so for United World Wrestling and for the medical and referee commission, it's very important and make it easier when we are in competition and everybody have the licenses, and when we go to the hospital, everybody will cover, everybody is safe. And it's for us very important not to fight during balance weigh-in. What is this on that way? Second one, what I will also remind for athletes and coaches, please, when you have injury, not came too early back to the competitions, okay? That because we have this also a problem. Sometimes leg or shoulders, and you start too early the training. Maybe before you start the training, it's also one kind of education. Yes, please ask your wrestler, you are good at it or you are sick today. So when somebody is sick, please not let them continue in the I know we are speaking lazy, come on, it's only you are wrestler. So, but at least when you are fighter for a period for 10, 20 years, then you will see when you become older these problems. So this is also a very important situation, and from our side to explain to everybody that is this situation. So Doc, we look, Doc is here, but as participants, but I saw not more questions. You have something from your side, some benefit, or you won't say to our friend something, Doc?
Well, I would like to thank you, your colleagues in the referee commission, and all wonderful referees that we have in our family. I'm really, myself and my colleagues, I'm sure other colleagues are enjoying working together when it comes to the competitions. We are in a difficult time right now. It's a crazy
Yes.
Corona era time. What I want to just suggest and recommend to my colleagues, referees, coaches, all family members is just to be patient, to be wise, to understand the situation. This is something that is happening to everyone on the globe. It's not just limited to our sport. We are watching, we are observing the situation. Everyone is really excited to return to sport as soon as possible, but we have to consider the health of our wrestlers, our families. Wrestling is a contact sport, so it's a high risk sport for transmission of infectious disease, and this is why we have to wait until we make sure that there is enough information, there is enough care. Perhaps there's a vaccine or efficient treatment for this condition. By that time, but this is the important message, but that time we shouldn't actually leave the sport. We have to be, we have to educate and support our athletes. We have to keep our athletes excited, in a good fitness. This is a good time maybe to get back to something more theoretical, looking at the clips, videos, together. I mean, reading good books, try to have a good balanced nutrition, avoid overweighting, keeping our fitness level, aerobic fitness, keeping our muscle healthy, having a good, again, nutrition and supplemental, permitted supplemental support. So together we will pass this situation, I'm sure, and hopefully we see each other on the mat again in the competitions. So thank you very much for everyone who attended this webinar, and the other person that will actually watch this webinar later.
Yes. Thank you, Doc. Thank you for big collaboration. And I think a lot of good information today. And I'm happy to see you soon. And be strong, be safe. See you. Bye-bye, my friends. Goodbye. Ciao. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Bye-bye.